You're watching The Ready Writer, a show where I get to speak to writers of all different genres, mediums, and experiences. The Ready Writer. Are you ready?
It is time for another episode of The Ready Writer. Today's guest is PJ Baz. Let's get the show started. First question for you: was being an author a childhood dream?
Yes. I first fell in love with words when I did my first book report. I was in the third grade and I had to write a book report about, I chose the Taj Mahal. And that story just transformed my life and it opened up a whole new world for me. And I fell in love with books at that time.
So, when would you say you started writing stories, or when did you first get the idea of publishing books?
Um, I, s- I- like I was just saying, I've been writing ever since probably third grade. And I didn't publish anything for obviously. My first book was published last year. And I guess all those other times I was just being nervous and and my background is early childhood education. We have a family childcare business that we've had over 30 years. And so I was always reading stories and telling stories, but I did not get up enough nerve to actually publish the book until last year.
What was it that gave you the courage to go ahead and do it?
Casey, I think it was I just had an unction, just from God, just to launch out. And, that all these words and ideas that I had inside of me, the world needs to hear this. And there's so many other children besides the direct children that I've been working with need to hear stories. And this first book is promoting a father and son relationship. So people need to see and hear, these kinds of stories.
So, what were your when you were, you got to the point where you said you needed to publish this book? What was your first steps? How did you know where to start, and which pathway did you take?
This particular, I really did not know where to start. I just began to research and kind of just start looking and asking people, letting people know what I was trying to do. And I did a hybrid approach. And what that simply means is you have a company that will help you kind of walk you through the process, and but you still own all the rights as a self-publisher. So it's basically self-publishing, but just having someone to kind of help you through the process. So through that partnership, I was able to, after about, I guess, 9 months of hard work, we finally were able to have the final product.
So it was kind of like delivering a baby.
Yes, nine
Go
months,
through
right?
the story.
Yes.
So this was your first book. I'm assuming the company you used, it wasn't their first time publishing.
No, no,
Um,
no.
how did they get? Um, what were some things that they did to help you? Because you said last year, I
Mhm.
would say last year was the first full year where certain companies had to find new ways of working because of the pandemic and everything. So what were some of the things that you are aware were done differently that you probably wouldn't have done prior to the pandemic?
This particular company, they've been around for a few years. So I think they've already had the infrastructure in place to do everything. A little puppy. Okay, so they had the infrastructure in place, and they, already had ways to work with authors remotely. So it wasn't a hardship for them.
Awesome. So what is the name of the book, and give us a brief summary about the book?
Oh, so the name of the book is called Together with Dad, Andy's Adventure Filled Week. And the story really promotes family bonding between a father and a son. And it talks about their different activities that they experience throughout a week, from eating breakfast together, playing baseball, getting their haircut, going to the library. And it was really important to me to have a book that not only had a fun story, pictures for children, but also it was important to have learning lessons at the back of the book. So, so that way parents and educators can take what they just read with their child and take it to the next level. They can have those conversations and talk about, for my particular book, it talked about emphasizing days of the week, like Monday through Sunday. That can actually be a lesson plan, big and small. And then also the importance of family bonding and different activities. Who do you spend time with as a child? This is some of the questions that a parent can ask a child. And then it also talks about kindness and having manners and helping other people. And that's something we need empathy in this world right now, and teaching those things to children, because they're not getting some of those things in our schools.
Right. Well, they're not getting many things in the schools.
Right.
So who or what was the inspiration behind this book?
Really my father. It really highlighted some of the things that he and I shared together. And I don't know, it just seemed like as a child looking up to him, he seemed so big. That's another concept, like I said in the book. And I just enjoyed our activities that we had together. It was always fun. And just to display that and celebrate our fathers is, I think, much needed as well.
Yes, it is. It very much is. So for the summer, or maybe even the spring, are you planning any events, any book signings or outdoor book readings? Did you have any events planned coming up?
My next event probably is going to be in the summertime. I have a partnership with Detroit Public Schools, and they usually do different events throughout the summer, promoting, kind of like back to school and festivities. So I'll probably continue that partnership with them this coming summer.
Awesome. Now, is this what's the boy's name again?
Oh, the character in the book,
Yes,
Andy.
Andy. Are you considering this to be a series of books?
I am. I'm working on the second book as we speak. Should be out this coming summer.
Oh, wow. Great. Great. So you've had your experience yourself, you said this last year was the first year you finally decided to go ahead and publish that book. So give some advice to someone out there who is kind of like you, still not sure whether or not they want to do it. Well, they want to do it. They're on the fence. Help them get over that fence.
I would say, especially now, this is the time. It's definitely a time of, I've seen so many entrepreneurs step out and, don't give up. You have a dream, you have thoughts about writing, you have to have your voice heard. And I think about, I don't know if you ever heard of him, Dr. Miles Monroe. He used to be a pastor, great leader. He's deceased. But one of the things that he said is, you look at a graveyard and probably the richest place is there because some people were cut off too soon and did not accomplish their dreams and aspirations. And I would say, do it because, this is the time. People need to hear your voice.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Any final words to parents or children who are considering getting this book?
I would say, definitely go out and support. And, if you want a book that, again, highlights the importance of family bonding and passing on traditions and culture, this could be a great book to do just that. And it's a fun read. I have 2 twin nieces, and they're 2 years old. They were 2 at the time. And I said, if they like this book, they kind of walk me through the process. I would have them listen to the different story and the story. And I said, if they love this book, other children are gonna love the book. So it's important to me to have something that was fun for children to actually listen to. So I think you won't be disappointed.
That is all the time we have today for Ready Writer. I want to thank our guest, PJ Bass, for stopping on by, and you, the audience, for watching. Have a great day.